other holidays coming up, sir?
What's the other one? There's this one. It's in the Middle East somewhere. What is it? What is that? What is
Dreidel, dreidel, dreidel. The only Jew at the table couldn't remember the Hanukkah song. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to the fun show here at Big TV. This is, I guess, our last show for the year, basically. So we will begin by wishing you all a happy Hanukkah and a Merry Christmas. And I'm not going to bother wasting my time wishing you all a Happy New Year, because there is no Happy New Year in America. After 240 years of a noble experiment, the United States of America ends on January 20th, 2017, and there's no one in America who's going to have a Happy New Year.
I hope we're wrong.
So this is December 12th. This is the fateful day where the Electoral College refused to do their duty as envisioned by the Founding Fathers and rubber-stamped DJ Trump as Vladimir Putin's choice for President of the United States. So, too bad, folks. Hate to give you a downer, but fair warning, America's over.
Well, the FBI helped too.
Yeah, the FBI was complicit
Yeah,
and a number of other things.
Okay, well,
Before we get to happier things, a few things. We note the passing of Zsa Zsa Gabor, Green Acres, or was
No,
that was
her
Eva.
sister.
That was Eva. She basically
She was
made
in the movie Lily.
She made a career of guest appearances.
Well,
and 9 husbands.
before the Kardashians, there was Zsa Zsa.
There were the Gabor sisters,
Yeah.
yes. But
Well, I don't know how many
anyway, at
times they
age
got married.
99,
Yeah.
she was.
She'd have been 100 in February.
Right.
She didn't want to stick around for February. So we had a disaster today in Berlin.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very unfortunate. Some terrorist attack on a Christmas market in the square in Berlin. We had an assassination in Turkey. Fortunately, the presidents of Turkey and the president of the United States, Vladimir Putin, immediately got together and talked. So apparently, this isn't going to be the Archduke Ferdinand situation. No. But and in any case, we are going to present for you now a seasonal thing with a nod to Dr. Seuss. Something that is both seasonal and wraps up what's happening to our country. It is How Trump Stole America by John Pavlovitz.
In a land where the states are united, they claim in a skyscraping tower, adorned with his name, lived a terrible, horrible, devious chump, the bright orange miscreant known as the Trump.
This Trump, he was mean, such a mean little man with the tiniest heart and 2 tinier hands, and a thin set of lips etched in permanent curl, and a sneer and a scowl and contempt for the world.
He looked down from his perch and he grinned ear to ear, and he thought, I could steal the election this year. It'd be rather simple. It's so easily won. I'll just make them believe that their best days are done. Yes, I'll make them believe that it's all gone to hell, and I'll be the jerk messiah, and their souls they will sell.
I'll use lots of words disconnected from truth, but I'll say them with style so they won't ask for proof. I'll toss out random platitudes, phrases, and such. They're so raised on fake news that it won't matter much. They won't question the how to the what or why or when. I'll make their American once again.
The Trump told them to fear. They should fear, he would say. They've all come for your jobs. They'll all take them away. You should fear every Muslim and Mexican too. every brown, black, and tan one, everyone who votes blue.
And he fooled all the Christians. He fooled them indeed. He just trotted out Jesus. That's all Jesus folk need. The celebrity preachers all crowned him as king, tripping over themselves just to kiss the Trump ring.
And he spoke only lies just as if they were true, until they believed all those lies were true too. He repeated and tweeted, and he blustered and he spit, and he misled and fibbed. He just made up that stuff.
In French, it's called merde.
And the media laughed, but they printed each line, thinking he'll never will win. In the end, we'll be fine. So they chased every headline, bold typed every claim, till the fake news and the real news, they looked just the same.
And the scared folk who listened, they devoured each word. Yes, they ate it all up, every word that they heard, petrified that their freedom was under attack, trusting Trump that he would take their America back. Back from the gays and from ISIS. He'd take it all back. Take it back from the Democrats, fat cats and blacks. And so hook, line, and sinker, they all took the bait. All his lies about making America great.
Now, the pantsuited one, she was smart and prepared. She was brilliant and steady, but none of them cared. So they cared not to see all the work that she'd done or the fact that the Trump had not yet done thing one. They could only shout emails. Yes, emails they'd shout because Fox News had told them, and Fox News had clout. And the pat-suited one, she was slandered no end, and a lie became truth she could never defend. And the Trump watched it all go according to plan, a strong woman eclipsed by an insecure man.
And November the 8th arrived. Finally, it came. Like a slow-moving storm, but it came just the same. And Tuesday became Wednesday, as those days will do, and the night turned to morning, and the nightmare came true. With millions of non-voters still in their beds, yes, the Trump, he had done it, just like he had said.
And the Trumpers, they trumped, how they trumped when they won. All the racists and bigots, deplorable ones, they crawled out of the woodwork, came out to raise hell. They came out to be hateful and hurtful as well, with slurs and with road signs, with spray paint and tweets, with death threats to neighbors and taunts on the streets, and the grossest of grossness they hurled on their peers, while the Trump, he said zilch for the first time in years.
But he tweeted at Hamilton, he tweeted the Times, and he trolled Alec Baldwin a few hundred times. And he pouted a pout like a petulant kid, thinking this is what presidents actually did, thinking he could still be a perpetual jerk, terrified to learn he had to actually work. Work for every American, not just for a few, not just for the white ones. There was much more to do.
He now worked for the Muslims and the Mexicans too, for the brown, black, and tan ones, and the ones who vote blue. They were all now his bosses. Now they all had a say. And those nasty pants-suited ones were here to stay. And Trump, he soon realized that he didn't win. He had gotten the thing, and the thing now had him.
And it turned out that Trump was a little too late, for America was already more than quite great. Not because of the sameness, the opposite's true. It's greatness far more than just red, white, and blue. It's straight, gay, and female. It's Gentile and Jew. It's transgender and Christian and atheist too. It's Asians, Caucasians of every kind, the disabled and able, the deaf and the blind. It's immigrants, Muslims, and brave refugees. It's liberals with bleeding hearts fixed to their sleeves. And we're all staying. We're staying right here. And we'll be the great bane for Trump for 4 years. And we'll be twice as loud as the loudness of hate. Be the greatness of America. And the Trump's loudest boasts, they won't ever obscure. Over 3 million more of us voted for her.
I'd like to meet this guy. I'd like to meet this guy.
Not bad, not bad.
I think he should run for office.
I'd take him.
Well, I should bring up that Dr. Heimlich has passed away.
Yes, that's true. He was 90-ish too.
Yes, 99, I
I
think,
thought he passed away
also.
a couple of weeks ago, didn't he?
Everybody.
It was not more than 2 weeks ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Imagine how many people he saved with that simple
Simple.
Yeah.
thing. And I
I
probably
used it.
Probably the invention wasn't much, but he promoted it.
Yeah.
Sort of like that kid who started the ice bucket challenge, you know. It's a simple idea. If it had stayed in his neighborhood or his friends, it would have been nice.
Yeah.
But it's the promotion of them. This is the difference between Eric the Red and Christopher Columbus, right? Eric the Red may have discovered America, but he doesn't seem to have told anyone about it.
Well, he did all right.
So when the Norwegians complain we celebrate the wrong discoverer
Yeah.
of America, we say, well, he should have tooted his own horn.
He didn't tweak the right people.
That's
Oh, God, yes. Well, actually, on the way over here tonight, we decided that the terrible mess that we're in this country is all the fault of Al Gore.
Because
If Al Gore hadn't
And
invented the
Internet.
internet, we wouldn't be in this problem, right?
that's
I mean, without the internet, we wouldn't have a tweeting president. Without the internet, the Russians couldn't have hacked the election, you know. It's all Al Gore's fault. I knew that we'd find a scapegoat for
and when
this.
you look at the last two Republican presidents stole their office, their place in office.
Yeah, that's their favorite way of getting it. right?
Hanging Chads, hanging Russians,
They had
hanging out with the Russians.
They had a strange article today in the Times. I think it was a woman writer. I can't remember, but it was strange because she was writing about the lack of diversity in the New York Times newsroom.
Editorial
Newsroom.
board or something.
Newsroom.
Yeah, okay.
And she was telling the fact that there would be it was older white guys who were staffing everything and running all the departments for the most part. And I'm surprised that the Times would print this, you know.
Got passed over for a promotion, did she?
Yeah, she didn't wait until the holiday that comes up, the Passover.
It's not all that surprising. I mean, they had a show. It was actually about a magazine instead of a newspaper. One of its teasers was this older, established woman talking to a younger woman and saying, you'll never actually see your name on a byline here. Are you okay with that? You
Oh.
know?
That's a show. That's an Amazon.
Yeah,
An
one
Amazon
of those
one of their-
streaming shows.
One
or
of their
something.
shows, yeah.
It's so funny because I'm just not. I'm totally unaware of that. They're now giving awards to things that are on Netflix and Amazon and things like that, and they don't exist to me.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, that's just like there's a lot of things that are on cable that because I don't have cable. I never heard of these shows.
Well, the funny thing is, I called my sister up today because she's in Berlin for Christmas. I may have said that, and
No, go ahead.
and I told her what had happened in Berlin because my nephew in Berlin doesn't have a television set. And she couldn't find radio in English, so she wasn't listening to anything. There she was about 8 blocks away from this thing, and she had no idea it happened until I called her from Brookline and told
Tell
her,
her.
you know.
Sad.
So then she was anxious to find out where her granddaughter was and stuff. What do you got over there, my friend?
I have
Yes.
hungry polar bears visiting Alaskan coastal villages. There's a big article about it.
Yes.
Pictures in the
Are they
Times.
eating Alaskans?
No.
Yeah. Well, they're smart, the polar bears. They can't, because of the ice melt, they can't get at the seals anymore, and they need the seals to be healthy. So they found this village on the coast, and this
Okay, so it's an Inuit village, I take it,
yes,
and they have these licenses to whale.
to kill a whale and bring them ashore, and cut them up, the blubber and the meat,
And so they leave what they don't want on the shore,
and the polar bears show
and they're
up.
surprised the polar bears come for a meal.
And if
They shouldn't be surprised.
And if it's a, now they're waiting to see if others get washed up, perhaps, and they'll feast on that, on a dead one.
Is there an indication that whales get washed up frequently? I'm not.
Well, it showed one in the pictures.
Well,
It showed-
actually,
They
they
get
get-
sick and they get disoriented.
They get washed up on Cape Cod,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So maybe they do in Alaska.
But I
Who
don't. I
knows?
wonder which.
it's a hard life. It's a hard life now for these bears.
It's a hard knock
Wait,
life for
Good shit.
me.
It's the same thing I was thinking.
hard knock
hard
life.
knock life.
Okay, all right.
You'll see.
I said, well, let me.
Well, it's season for Dickens,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, and the Pats had a tough time yesterday.
Well, they had an easy time. It was great. That was the way they were playing.
Well, I'm saying that the defense finally came through.
The defense played very well, and the offense played very disciplined.
Yeah.
They were totally in control after the first quarter, and I had mixed feelings again because I keep wanting the Patriots to lose every game.
A lot
And
of people said that
as
to
a
me.
result, they're winning them all. You
They're
know,
winning them because you said that.
just to spite me
Just a bit,
because
yeah.
I want them to lose. You know,
Well, then there's Tony Bennett. He had a 90th birthday and
90th birthday, and Tony is more popular than he's ever been.
winning all the prizes, and he keeps doing
Well, it
everything.
said something about his 15th or his 19th Grammy Award.
Yes,
He has 19
yeah.
Grammy Awards.
There you are.
And he sold thousands of albums,
Yeah.
probably millions of albums.
And then there was a big story about dire need for engineers goes unmet in Indonesia. Why? Over 20% of the kids that go on to college in Indonesia decide they want to study Islam, men and women.
Okay.
A young guy, and unfortunately, the economy is unable to expand, says the government, because they don't have.
Because there's not much market for Islamic students.
Well, how many can fit into one of those? What do you call them? The prayer.
In the mosque?
Mosque. Yeah. I
Well, a lot of people can fit in a mosque, but not all of them are going to be imams.
Well, anyways,
You know,
and then even
that's
though
as much of a drag on your economy as all those yeshiva students in Israel
you're right.
who don't want to do the military, don't want to pay any taxes or anything. They just want to sit around and read their Bible.
But they read. They have to go now and do some.
They're not happy about it.
No, the rabbis
happy.
aren't either.
All right, we're going to, in spite of the fact that we just did a choral reading special for the occasion, we are in fact going to do the Big TV Unrehearsed Thespian Society's presentation for this evening, which is again off fairly close to the pile in the
I wiped the cobwebs off.
the vault, and
The ball.
and we didn't come up with a thing. It's called
We didn't give it the
furnishings.
Furnishing.
Furnishings.
Ah, okay.
Furnishings.
Old furnishing. All right.
Action.
Action.
I just changed some of my furniture.
Your bedroom?
No living room.
Sofa.
No side chairs.
New colors, softer material,
Actually, black leather.
And the carpet.
Had it taken up.
wall to wall.
Unbelievable.
You dumped all that stuff?
No, I sold it online.
Brilliant.
And you got new pieces from a .com?
No, I checked out furniture stores.
A bit conventional.
I wanted to see the merchandise.
Yeah, it's good to try them out.
Comfort factor was critical.
And price.
Now I'm addicted.
To buying furniture?
No, to opening a store.
What about your accounting business?
I'll balance both.
Ah, hilarious. Very ambitious.
But it's what she wants.
It's a big undertaking at this stage of life.
You'll need loyal employees
Who are big and strong.
and wear those wide belts.
How about selling do-it-yourself kits?
Never.
Yeah, they collapsed before you finish building them.
My cousin filled his house with them.
And they all fell apart, right?
In their house, I don't sit down.
Even at meals?
He never served foods.
Why not?
It costs money.
Tasteless humor.
It's terrible if it's true.
It's reality, man.
What are you doing about it?
Bringing sandwiches.
Oh, he's kidding.
No, and eat them on the floor.
For heaven's sake, why?
Legs come off the chairs.
Unexpectedly,
How could you be so lucky?
Just what I keep asking myself.
you could put him in charge.
He'd have a stroke.
From the surprise?
No, all the work.
But he'd be the managing director.
Too demanding.
But he loves flea markets.
We could meet him at one.
Only if you drop some money.
That's very nasty, Mike.
Can't be that tight.
Eat out with him sometime.
Well, we'll split the bill.
After he's ordered expensive bottles of wine
Seems ominous.
and the costliest hors d'oeuvres and entree on the menu.
Well, we'd be sharing, right?
But he's left his wallet home.
Could happen to anybody.
But always with him.
But we'll get even when we go out for dinner again.
And he repairs to the men's room.
When the bill arrives
Well, he's got to return sometime.
Not until you've been stuck again.
and he returns smiling,
Shall we settle up, he says sickly.
Poor soul, he's not feeling well.
You got to run, we'll send the check. Bye-bye.
that's it?
You did ask for it.
It's a well-rehearsed performance.
I've seen it several times.
How do you put up with it?
I ask him if he has his wallet.
Before dinner, before drinks,
Very clever of you.
Once burned, twice the fool.
or semper paratus.
What about the furniture enterprise?
Yeah, suppose he walked in.
No problem. Never buys new.
That's reasonable.
Lots of people don't.
You get some good deals that way.
Mostly discards on the street.
You mean trash?
No, in Alston, that's pretty cool.
I wouldn't describe it quite like that.
And his wife finds this acceptable?
No, she discards it when he's away.
All right, what kind of work does he do?
How should I know?
Don't you ask?
He's always between jobs.
Why is that?
Need lots of sleep and a special diet.
Possible.
It's his entire life.
It's an exaggeration, of course.
I only wish it was.
So what does he do all day?
Yeah, he likes jogging,
What else?
walking.
Who does the food shopping?
He does. It's exercise and mostly free.
But what's he bring home?
Only bargains.
Come on.
Beans, moldy veggies, and fatty anything.
You're enjoying this too much, Michael.
Make him sound like he's a Dickensian character.
At least they appear healthy.
Well, you know he'll change.
Maybe in his next incarnation.
What are you doing about it?
We're putting him in our will
Some cruel joke?
No. How will you help him?
by leaving him a used furniture store.
Sure, with lots of unpaid bills.
Next to a supermarket with a big dumpster.
Kindness is its own reward.
Blackout.
Blackout.
Blackout. And that's the upbeat part of our program for today.
Very good. That we took care
We'll
of
be
that.
set on these things. I noticed today that 5 GM factories are announced to be closing down to reduce inventory.
Yes, but
It appears that people don't like to buy sedans anymore.
Mr. Trump hasn't shown up there yet.
Well, I wondered whether they were pulling a Carrier air conditioner scam on Trump. You know, they want to see how much he'll pay them to not close down their things. I mean, every MBA holder in America is going to be blackmailing Trump to save the jobs. You know.
Well, in case you're wondering about other places in the world, this
I was. Are there other places in the world?
there's an attack. There's an attack in Yemen, and naturally, ISIS already claimed responsibility. A disabled suicide bomber blew himself up at a gathering of Yemen security officers, killing 48 and wounding dozens.
There was an attack in Jordan too, wasn't it?
Yes, there was. It's another. Again, they nailed a bunch of poor guys who were just brought in as conscripts, and they.
It reminds me of my freshman math instructor at Harvard, who wrote a song that went, "They're rioting in Africa, There's strife in Iran. What nature doesn't do to us will be done by our fellow man.
Well, the New York
We're about
Times.
to find out.
The New York Times says Mr. Trump is
Please, Michael,
he's running
Don't
a tax on.
don't refer to the chump as Mr., okay?
Well, I didn't say president.
You said Mr. That's
yeah,
too
mi-
much.
Yeah,
Too
oh,
much.
Okay, Trump. All right. He.
Chancellor.
Anyways, he says all these terrible things about the press, and he's pulling the industry on a more putting the industry into a more solid economic footing than it ever has been because of all this publicity. That he's, even though it's hate of the news media, he is presenting so much information that's negative about it that people are buying newspapers to see what he said and what they said. Anyways, that's another item.
Actually, it is widely projected that perhaps working in newspapers is going to be a better job in the future because actually significant newspapers like the Globe and the Times and stuff have had a big upturn in subscriptions of people who want to make sure that newspapers don't disappear under the Reich.
So then there was this about sanctuary cities. You know, this is a term that comes up in the Old Testament. Sanctuary cities. And they were in the Old Testament. It's about men who have been considered, generally men, to have murdered somebody in their tribe or whatever.
Yeah.
And if they got to this sanctuary cities, I think there were 7 of them. They could not be killed in that city.
It kind of helped the authorities figure out where you were headed, however. I mean, we've always allowed sanctuary in churches in this country,
Right,
so
right.
We'll be set on that. My friend, do you want to clear your keyboard?
Yeah, we're close, aren't we? Okay, I'll get ready.
If you're trying to find a key, I don't know. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. Irene, good night. Irene, good night. We'll see you in our dreams. Good night, everybody, from the Fun Show here at Big TV.
This is our last weeks.
This is our last show of the year. We wish you all a Merry Christmas, a Happy Hanukkah. We wish you the best of luck. And remember, you have the good fortune to live in the Republic of New England. So all we need to do is build a wall along the New York border.
I'm going to take a ride on that bus to the Trump Tower for Christmas.
There's a sit-in planned, is there? You can say something.